International Women's Day has occurred for well over a century, with the first gathering held in 1911. It is a global day celebrating the social, economic, cultural, and political achievements of women. And over the years, the world has witnessed a significant change and attitudinal shift in thoughts about women's equality and liberty. With more women in the boardroom, greater equality in legislative rights, and increased critical mass of women's visibility as impressive role models in every aspect of life, one could think that women have gained true equality. We acknowledge there has been significant improvement. We continue to see female astronauts, female presidents, female vice presidents. Schoolgirls are welcomed into university, and women can work and have a family. However, the unfortunate thing is that women are still not present in equal numbers in business or politics, and globally, women's education, health, and violence against them is worse than that of men. Individually, we are responsible for our own thoughts and actions all day, every day. We can break the bias in our workplaces. We can break the bias in our schools, colleges, and universities. And together, we can celebrate women's achievements. We can raise awareness against bias, and we can all break the bias on this International Women's Day and beyond.
At KCB, we have distinguished ourselves in promoting gender diversity and financial inclusivity within the organization. This, we have particularly made significant progress in supporting female colleagues, just as we have done across the ecosystem. We are just over 8 years to go until 2030, when it's expected that the world will have achieved Sustainable Development Goal, SDG number 10, which is very specific to reduce inequalities. And countries across East Africa have made progress on this agenda. Today, we celebrate the strides we have made as KCB towards attainment of Sustainable Development Goal number 10 by reducing inequalities internally and externally through the programs that promote equality. We as KCB are committed to reaching and maintaining gender parity in our staff composition. And we have continued to mentor high-performing female in the organization to enable them climb the corporate ladder. Also, we have implemented talent management framework which allow for identification of specific individual development intervention to accelerate readiness of leaders across various levels. Therefore, we launched the Aspire program for women, Men in Leadership Network. I know many a times you keep on asking, how about the boy child? We are not loving the boy child. That's why we have Men in Leadership Network and the Emerging Leaders Mentorship Program to facilitate individual growth of various staff members within KCB. The bank has also implemented and facilitated projects to support women businesses, increase the number of women service providers in the system, train women employees in leadership, and mentor them to be ready for senior position once the opportunity arises within the organization. As we celebrate the women and the strides that we have made, KCB celebrate women in all capacities, whether be it our employees, our service providers, our customers who are with us this morning, or any other stakeholder, and we continue creating different opportunities to empower our women at every level of our business and community interaction. As a bank, we are cognizant of the fact that women-led or owned businesses face a lot of challenges and obstacles, like limited access to finance, labor and skill gaps, exclusion from key network, as well as social and legal constraints. And we want to let all the women in businesses know that we are rallying behind you. We are rallying behind your businesses. And we are here to support and work with you in every step of your business journey. Through the KCB Biashara Club, you will have access of training, networking opportunities, and a dedicated relationship manager to offer your business counsel. As a bank, we believe that investing in women in business can provide both social and financial return. And as such, we'll be able to design tailor-made solution for your specific needs. When you meet the relationship manager and you have a financial challenge, please explain and explain until they give you a financial solution, because that's the only reason why we exist.
We're not going to break biases unless we are problem solving. I have had challenges like anybody else, like any person in business, like any woman in business. Taxes, money, people, clients, you name it. But that lesson has been there for me to learn that I will never roll over and die. It does not matter what is going on. I will not roll over and die. The show must go on. We do not live in a perfect world, ladies, but the show must go on. So no matter what you are going through, if you start telling yourself the show must go on and attaching yourself to the people, to the information, to the partners who enable your show to go on, trust me, the show will go on and it will be a marvelous show indeed. I have failed. I have failed many times. There are programs you don't hear I'm running. Why? But what did they teach me? They taught me to understand the customer. Not to understand the customer as a demographic, not women. Women, great, but are we all exactly the same? Not youth, but to understand she likes this, she goes here. These are her problems, so that we can know that at the end of the day, business is about what? We're all in business for one reason. Anybody want to take a guess? Human beings. And the more we start to understand our people who work with us, our customers, our partners, there is no system, there's no computer that is making the decision on anything. It is a human being. So I'll fail so that I can understand my customer is a human being. Let me stop relating to them with all these technical words we hear, but talk to them like a human being. I stand here as a founder and executive director of Centonomy. I do not stand here as the CEO. I transitioned management of my business, and that taught me that every business should outlive you. A great business should outlive you. You should be able to go, can you take 1 week away from your business and your business can still survive? So mine is not a business. It is a destiny. It is a purpose. It is a calling. Because it is that deep for me, it is very uncomfortable, but loads of fun and extremely fulfilling. I have cried my most tears through Centonomy. I have prayed my deepest prayers through Centonomy, but I have laughed my loudest laughter. As we start breaking biases, I want you to break bias number 1, the story that is in your head about yourself. Everybody sitting here has a unique story. And when you say it like that, yes, you could have gotten somebody else who also has a business that trains on financial literacy and business, but can they ever tell my story? No, you will be remembered for your story. So the first assignment I want to give you is, what's your story? And many of us, do we take time to think about it? We spend so much time trying to be like everybody else, yeah? So, you are unique, and in that uniqueness is your power. God did not make a mistake. He could have run all of us through one big photocopying machine, but he didn't. You have a different thumbprint because there is something unique you are bringing to the table. So even when we say break the biases, we've got to ask ourselves, why are we doing it in the first place? It is so that uniqueness can come out, because the world needs you. Yeah? So go and start understanding, what is your story? I didn't mention awards, I didn't mention degrees, I didn't mention titles. But even without all that, there's a story that each and one of us has. Today, the hashtag for International Women's Day is Break the Bias. How many of you can remember last year's hashtag? How many can remember the year before? Today, the world over, there are women forums. Even today morning, I was being called. Washeke, can you come speak to our women? Today morning, I was in my hotel room here. Can you come? Now this is in Nairobi, and someone called me from Mombasa. We can put you on a flight today. Because they've woken up and they're like, oh no, women, what are we doing? Yeah? Isn't that how we treat it? This is perfect, especially in March. But what will happen in April? Next year, I'll be here and I'll be asking you, what was last year's hashtag? And the same thing, we can't remember last year. So what's going to be different? As much as I respect all these hashtags that come, I am tired of being in events where for just a season, we talk women, and then April comes and we, even past this networking lunch, it is over. So we've got to start having discussions that are about real things. We can hashtag, but let's start having proper discussions. I open a bank account, not with KCB. It's just to be clear. It cannot be. Yeah? I am running around. Yeah? The checks have my signature. I am the one who delivered the account opening documents to the bank. Yeah? I'm the one hiring the staff. The staff have even opened accounts with the same bank so that their salaries can go quickly. Yeah? I'm in a business that I'm fairly visible. You've seen me on TV. You've heard me on radio. You've seen my articles in the newspaper. I do transfers. Who do you think they're calling? Who do you think? And women, how many of you have been through that? With a bank, insurance company, anybody. Who do they call? The husband? Or the silent male partner? Sometimes it's your father, you're like, oh, we needed 2 signatories here, sign, go away. Yeah? But it was just, and I had to call her, and it was a woman. The relationship manager was a woman. And she's like, I'm so sorry. So the bias was subconscious, but it was just there. I was sharing with Naomi just yesterday before I boarded the flight to Kisumu. I have bought my car. I pay insurance every month. Yeah? Then my husband sends me hey, I got this message. Your insurance is due for renewal. I was like, what? Well, me, I've not gotten any message about my insurance due for renewal. So, I know if we had time and we started talking about these stories, we'd be here for three months. As I've been doing this work, women hold challenges. If you find yourself the person in the house who's earning more, you have a challenge, correct? Now, as you go and do whatever you're doing, it is your job to be the best. We have been told when I say I am the best, it is what? Pride. But as I said before, God, there's no photocopy of you anywhere. You are meant to be the best. And you being the best does not take away anybody's right to be the best. So in the table you're sitting, all the women there are the best. Yeah? And it is every day to go and say, what else? Do I need to learn something? So that you keep your best going on. But you are the best, and it's time to start packaging ourselves as the best. And that was why I described myself that way. That you can understand when I can relate to my unique story. understand that there is nobody in this world who has that story. So obviously you are the best. You are the best at what you were created to be, so own it.
Break the bias.